So thanks everyone. This is the belated version of the March meeting of the Open Cybersecurity Alliance. It got delayed as I had was on some vacation. And as of currently, we do not have an active co-chair for the OCA, so we delayed the meeting by 2 weeks. Unfortunately, a number of PGB members were not able to make it to the call today, but we do have another call in just 2 weeks' time. So hopefully we will send around this recording and people can at least get updates, and maybe we can have some out-of-band communications if we have to between now and then. So I see here we do have Vasilios. Thanks, Vasilios, for taking the time, and did want to quickly give Eric a chance to introduce himself as the new member from CIS. Eric, I don't believe that is this your first PGB call that you've been able to attend?
This is actually my first call, and I apologize. I was having some audio issues getting early on, so I just got to the point that I can hear you all.
Okay, fantastic. No, that were you able to hear us earlier? But
no, unfortunately, up until about a couple of seconds ago, I was getting no audio at all. So I had to rejoin from a web browser.
No worries. You didn't miss anything. We were just getting things started. So these I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself here, Eric, but since this is your first call, so we have these calls once a month. We discuss at high level operations and strategic planning for the OCA. This is also the group that votes and decides on any new projects that the organization is going to undertake, and then any other action items that people bring forward. So strategy and planning the organization. We do it once a month at this time. Normally, it is the first Thursday every month, and we move the time between this time slot and a couple of hours later because that's more convenient for our APAC colleagues to make the call. And yeah, and the calls are always recorded and posted to YouTube, so just be cognizant of that. Because it's an open organization. So did you want to quickly introduce yourself at CIS?
Sure, I'll happily do that. And good day to you all. My name is Eric Pinnell. I am one of the senior cybersecurity engineers for the benchmarks at CIS under the security best practices. And I was asked by CIS to be part of the organization here. So I'm looking forward to actually being able to participate and contribute and see what we can do to work with each other.
Perfect. No, it's great to have you. We work, Adam was a fantastic member for a number of years from CIS. So, love your organization. Looking forward to working with you all again. In a more extended capacity. And Eric, I'll put the offer out, if you ever want to set up some one-on-one time, I can, walk you through in more detail with the different projects that are undergoing and just, give you a state of the union. I'm more than happy to do that.
I'm sorry, that would be very appreciated, as I'm trying to get this more energized, if that makes sense to you all.
No, it makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I'll reach out to you out of band after the call, and we can definitely do that.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
No, my pleasure. And Eric, just for your awareness, normally there's a lot more people on this call. I think there was a number of people on traveling today. It's not at our regular monthly time, as discussed at the beginning of the call. So, but we're going to proceed anyway with the recording and send it out just so that people get the status update, because there are some timely items. So the first thing on the agenda wanted to hand the microphone over to Jane to give an update on this CASP planning session, which is very active. So Eric, CASP is an acronym that refers to the Cybersecurity Automation Project, and it's a project in Oasis that essentially organizes interoperability plug fests. And it's mainly chaired by Duncan Sparrow. It's actually an event that he personally organized for a number of years, and then essentially moved over to the Open Cybersecurity Alliance as a neutral home for this effort, where a large number of companies come together in DC and test their wares with open standards and do showcases, essentially show and tell of their products and projects. And it's a mixture of commercial and open source, and anybody who wants to register is invited. And it's all about, making sure all these things that we talk about all the time, like Stix and Taxi and Cacao and OpenC2 and the other things that Oasis does, make sure they actually work. When vendor A says that they can speak this, does it actually work when they talk with vendor B, and flesh out some of those issues if needed, right? So we call that the interoperability workshop, and it's organized by this CASP working group, and Jane just put the link to the event right there in the chat. So we've been organizing that for a number of months now, and it's coming up in April. So Jane, did you just want to give an update on where that stands right now for the PGB for people who watch the recording?
Absolutely. So we just went over 100 people registered for the event. So that's really, really great news. The majority are going to be in person. The event will be held in Reston, Virginia at Peraton's building. They've kindly agreed to host, with Cyware kindly agreeing to sponsor the luncheons for the event. As Jason mentioned, it is a free event to attend. I believe we may have 1 or 2 spots left for the in-person, but it's pretty close to being closed down because we are limited with the seating in the facility. So if you have any issues, Eric, let me know, and I can, see if there's any space available if you have an interest in attending in person. You can also attend virtually. So, that's certainly an option as well. As Jason mentioned, there's going to be a mixture of demos and presentations, everything from some of the new things we have at Oasis, like our Defending Against Disinformation open project and how they're using Stix or plan to be using Stix, all the way down to how Cacao is working with OpenC2 and all these different types of things. So it's a great place for you to meet a lot of the players that are really in the weeds on this. If nothing else, to observe and sort of find out what's happening. So feel free to let me know if you have any questions on that. And again, we've got great numbers for it, so we're really excited about it. It's a 2-day event. I don't think I mentioned that. So you can attend one day or both days on that front. So.
Oh, thank you very much. Unfortunately, it would have to be virtual on the 12th. I have a corporate all staff through the 11th. So.
Yeah,
No worries.
there are a number of people attending virtually, and there's no pressure. If you're interested, or if anyone in your team's interested in joining virtually, there's an unlimited number of virtual seats. So, and it is kind of it would be a kind of a crash course in almost everything that's happening at the OCA, because everyone is going to be demonstrating things there. So that, could be of value, but it is kind of a whole day thing. But we're going to record it as well, I assume, although I don't think we've discussed that. So we'll discuss that at the Friday planning session. But I would hope we would record it as well so that we can play it back later.
Yeah, I know it was addressed. I don't have confirmation that that would come from Peraton, so we can ask Steve on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what we can do if we have to, we could send out just a request to the people presenting, are you okay with your session being recorded or not? And if anyone says no, we can just turn it off for that one. But it would be great to record as many as we could so that people can view them after the fact.
Absolutely.
So that's a update on the CASP event. I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be even larger than the one last year, or the one in the last one that was held. So I'm pretty pumped. We've got some good speakers lined up too, for the event. So, yeah. So that was item number one in the agenda. Second was just a brief update as well on this other activity that Jane's been doing. Jane's been doing a lot of fantastic stuff, which is this nonprofit cyber dinner, which the OCA sponsored. Jane, do you want to spend a few seconds on that? This is an event that's happening at RSA, and we were able to, between the last PGP call and now, we were able to get enough members to commit some funding that the OCA is actually sponsoring a table at this dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we will be in collaboration with, I believe, about 8 other nonprofit organizations within the cybersecurity space. Actually, I think even CIS might actually be one of them. So Eric, you might want to check on that. We are one of the co-sponsors of this evening event, and it's open, it's free. We're encouraging all of our OCA members to make sure everybody puts it on their calendar. There is no formal sign up page. However, there is a link to add it to your calendar. So I will put that in the chat as well. And then you can circulate that to whomever you'd like on behalf of OCA. We do get a table space there during this evening event. I believe it's from 6 to 7:30 in the evening. It is actually at Moscone Center, which is wonderful. So we can just grab people as they're leaving the show and, take them on up to our event. So the location's great. I think the synergy between, all these different organizations is going to be a really great thing. We will be there promoting OCA, of course. So, I'll be looking and coming up with a plan, to let the PGB know exactly what we're going to be doing with our table there shortly. But yeah, it's a great opportunity, and we couldn't have done this without 3 of our OCA sponsor members who helped support our participation. That would be Cyware, Cydarn, as well as Analyst One. So we thank them for putting us on that agenda. So we're very grateful on that.
Yeah, and I think the overall cost has gone down even because the number of overall sponsors of the dinner continues to go up.
That's what I'm
Which kind
thinking.
of,
We haven't heard the latest on that, but I assume that will be the case.
yeah, because everyone's just sharing the load. So I think it's I think it's a really great event. Great showcase of collaboration, cybersecurity in the community among nonprofits, and hopefully we can get a lot of buzz out of it. I am kind of interested in, so we have the next PGB call in 2 weeks, and I think it would be good, Jane, if we can have a target like for that call to kind of have the proposal or discuss like what, because we only have one other PGB meeting before RSA, right? So there's April and May. So just trying to finalize like what do we want to do on that table? Like, are we gonna have like, are we showing anything? Is it just a swag handout, just flyers? Like, are we gonna put a monitor? Do you need any, anyone, any kind of technical support to help talk with the projects? Like what are we doing, right? So, I think that would be a good, we can target that for 2 weeks from now when we have the next PGB meeting. I think that would be a good thing for that agenda.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have some ideas and that I'm going to circulate to the PGB ahead of time. So,
Yeah, fantastic. All right. I only had one other item for the agenda this month. Because these are kind of this is the two major things going on right now. I had one other item for the agenda, which was pretty exciting. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we have enough people here to have like a real discussion about it, but I'm going to raise it for awareness. We have a potential new project proposal coming in from the OCA from CISA. And they're interested in, so they have they're pursuing this idea of sticks, taxi channels, and RFI, right? Request for information. Um, for people unaware of cyber threat intelligence, what a request for information is like if you are trying to send a request out to other members of an ISAC or ISAO or CERT or any other organization saying, what do you know about this? And it can be a threat actor, it can be an IP address, URL, file hash, any kind of indicator. Tell me what you know about it. And then the response can be, we've seen this many observations. These are all the things, all the activity we've seen. This is the kind of profiling of this threat actor, whatever. There's a number of different things you can have in a response. But the point is this ability to do a request response via taxi, it doesn't actually exist right now. It is something that the CTITC and myself actually proposed like years and years and years ago, but we never actually fleshed it out. So CISA is really interested in extending Stix Taxi to support RFI and also channels. And they actually had MITRE create a rough draft of something for this already. But there's conversations around if the way that was done is the way that it should proceed. But anyway, they're interested in this work and they're trying to explore where would we do this work? Do we do it in the CTITC or not? And there's a number of folks who are saying, I'd rather do it in the OCA because I'm not a member of the CTI and I really want to participate. So what we as the PGB need to decide though is this something that would actually be a new project, or is it something that slots into one of the existing working groups and projects to make it easier? Is this an extension of like the indicators of behavior or ontology or modeling or anything else? So that's the thing that we would need to explore is, does this thing in and of itself merit like a whole project, or is this just a working group work stream that can go and iterate on this under some existing umbrella? I think regardless, having CISA push this work here would be a great thing. So I don't know if, I know only Vasilios is here and Eric. I don't know if either of you have any thoughts or comments on that. I don't think there's enough people here to make any kind of decisions today, but I just wanted to let you guys know that this is going on. We can talk about it more in 2 weeks, I guess, in the next PGB meeting. No comments? Great. Those three things honestly were all I had on the agenda today. So I don't know if unless anyone here has any other open items, we can probably give back a half hour to everybody. Jane has her hand up. Jane?
yeah, sorry. I just wanted to make sure that, we're thinking about possible submissions for Black Hat. I believe that the call for presentation ends the beginning of April. So it would be great if we could talk about that at some point in time. I know maybe not on this call, but in the future, if people have ideas, I think we should make sure that we submit something. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Submit something for which? Sorry, I missed the first half of that.
Black Hat.
Oh, Black Hat, right.
Yeah.
So interesting point. I know he's not here, but Zhao Kuei was asking me about this. So I think it would be good to have that conversation with them. Like like they were basically asking, because the past 2 years, actually it might have been the past 3 years, they've presented Kestrel Black Hat Arsenal, right? And they're kind of interested in, hey, should we be trying to do that again? Is Oasis having a Black Hat booth like they did the past 2 years? Like, has that been organized? Like, should we do something there? Like, they're interested in that conversation too. Like, and it would be good to kind of at least synchronize with them, because in the past they've just done that under IBM. Like, they've just submitted that themselves. They didn't go through, work through the OCA specifically, right? To submit for Arsenal. They just did it.
Yeah, they did.
Which is nothing wrong with that. Nothing nothing wrong with that at all. But if we do want to, I think that they want to have the conversation about like organizing, or at least trying to plan a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. So
Yeah, I'm happy to support that. So maybe I'll just send an email to the PGB. We've got some new things. I don't know if the roaster has any interest in, being on the agenda, but it would be great if we had, at least a couple submissions from OCA, that we could get some extra pop. And with regards to the booth, I am waiting to hear back from my contact at Black Hat on what exactly, where they're going to put us, or what this looks like yet. So I don't have full confirmation, but I'm probably about 80% sure that we will have one or some sort of presence there. So obviously we have that, which will further enhance our visibility, but I also think having something on the program would be great as well.
if I was roaster Vasilios, I would be thinking about submitting to Arsenal. There's no reason that Cacao Roaster couldn't submit to Black Hat Arsenal. And it
I
would
was
be
I was writing a message actually in the chat, saying that I'm tired of traveling and the preparation needed for such an event. It's in the US, right, Jane?
Yes,
It
it's in
is.
August in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we should like chat about it, right? Because if the issue, so here's a couple of things to keep in mind, Vasilios. So Black Hat actually funds travel, right? So they'll pay for the travel for one person. So if you submit to Arsenal and you're accepted, they pay for or wait, no, that might not be true for Arsenal. I need to check that. If you're speaking, if you submit as a speaker, they pay for your travel. I guarantee that they do that. So that can be a huge help for people who are submitting to some of these open source projects. They'll pay for your travel and your accommodations, and they give you a free ticket. They're really good about that. It's a great event like that. I don't know if they pay for the travel for Arsenal or not. We have to look into it. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I'm not as in the know about all that, so, but I can dig into it.
But I mean, the other possibility, Vasilios, it could be to work with North, work with someone in North America who'd like be willing to help you guys out. Because there might be some folks who want to go to Black Hat who would love to showcase the project, right? Like there's that could be another option.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that would be even better to have somebody else, right, from the broader community, even within OCA, presenting something about cacao roaster. I mean, something more applied, basically, like a use
Yeah,
case
like
or something.
I mean, if that's something if that's an option for people, I'm sure that could be a conversation that could have legs, because there's always, there's always people who want to go to these things and they can't. And if you put, hey, we have a project, we want to submit it to Arsenal, if you'd be willing to, if we get accepted, you can go and do it and you get a free pass. Like, some people might be interested in that, especially if they're local. But anyway, it's just a thought.
Okay, I'll send a follow-up email to the PGB, and hopefully we'll get some maybe online discussions about it ahead of the next meeting.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else? All right. Well, I'll give everyone a half hour back, and we will recircle in only 2 weeks for the next call. And I'll send in an email on, on this new project, just so we could spark some conversation and thought in between now and then, hopefully on the mailing list. All right. Thanks,
Sounds
everybody.
That's
good.
great. All right,
Bye-bye.
thanks.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you all.